Hi lovelies, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you are returning. Now today you can see here I've got decks all over my bed because I wanted to do a walking tarot. It's not really a walking tarot review, so a walking tarot opening, because I have got some new decks, but one deck in particular I have been absolutely itching to open. You can see it's still sealed in the plastic. I've not even opened it yet. This is the Gorgons Tarot. Now I wanted this for ages, but I thought it had gone out of print. The last time I looked, it was really expensive and it was unavailable everywhere, so I just assumed the price was going up because it was out of print. And then it suddenly came up on my feed for buying, like an advertisement, and it was on offer and I couldn't believe it, so I grabbed it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open this, give first impressions. I'm sure you've seen this deck before, but it's new to me, and I was going to try and pair it with some decks. So I've grabbed some possible pairs without even having looked at the cards. So what I've gone off the fact that it's circular, so I've got some circular decks to try. I've gone off the limited colour palette, so there are also some black and white decks to try with it. And I've gone off the description on the back, which says it is particularly female, so I've gone off some decks that are more female orientated. And it also said that there's lots of animals in here, so I've got some animal decks as well. Now, the place that, just looking at this card on the front, it made me think of was the circular fountains at Witley Court, which I shared images of recently in my August Happies video. So there's water here in a circle. It reminded me of the fountains. It also is called a Gorgon, so Greek mythology is coming in, so a sister that can turn you to stone. That reminded me of the Greek mythology statues in the fountains at Witley Court. So there's Greek mythology coming in, so I've also got some Greek mythology decks to bring into the mix as well. Also, there's this soul female. Witley Court has a single ghost story, which is a lone female walking across the windows. So all of those things combined, I thought, right, I am going to share all the video that I've got of Witley Court, all the different aspects of Witley Court, and I'm going to take those aspects as an inspiration to find deck pairings. So we're going to do that. We're going to look at Witley Court, the history of Witley Court, the images of Witley Court, and we're going to walk around together, and we are going to look at this deck together for the first time for me, with pairings inspired by walking around. So this is a walking deck unboxing, I suppose, which is something different that I love to do, and who knows, if it all works and pans out, perhaps this will be a deck that I take back to Witley Court in the future and do some readings there. So let's open it together and let's attempt to find some pairs, fingers crossed. So here it is, guys. It's by Dolores Fitchy. What a fantastic name. It is a round, mostly black and white deck with two lurking splashes of colour. And it says that it has a blind Gorgon. This card can be used in a reading as a wild card, so we're going to wait and find that card in there. Unabashedly feminine. It's got praise for the animal kingdom. Features a largely female cast, lots of animal companions, commentators, bodyguards and familiars, and a mixed bag of traditional and not so traditional imagery. So something slightly different, I think, to expect. Wow, and that's a little bit like Witley Court. It's something very different, because Witley Court was ravaged by fire. Oh wow, look at the side of that box, isn't that lovely? Because Witley Court was actually ravaged by fire, that as well has now a very monotone colour palette as well. There's the red brick and there's like sort of more grey and beige brick, so it kind of fits the idea of the colour scheme. I absolutely love this. There's a little bit about the artist there, and look at the size of these cards. Oh my gosh, these cards are absolutely massive, but I love them. Oh, this is fantastic. Okay, I hope that this angle is okay. The top down angle I keep going out of focus on without realizing. Sorry, I'm bumping the camera. I'm trying to get wires of my microphone out of the way. Wow, this is a massive deck. And oh look, there it is. That's the blind Gorgon. Is that not the full? No, there's the full. Okay, so that's the blind Gorgon. So that's what reminded me of the fountain card. Oh my gosh, this is just so exciting. Okay, what I'm going to do first, I think, let's think about walking into Witley Court. Now, you first walk in, you go through the most beautiful forest and out onto a bridge over a lake and past some incredible trees. So there's a lot of sort of tree life and wildlife to get past when you first arrive at Witley Court. I'm walking through Witley Court now in my mind. I'm walking through those trees and past some incredible old trees. I mean, look at this tree here. I'm going to start off with vegetation then, because that's how we start in Witley Court. Now, this deck is called the Nature Magic Oracle. These are the backs. You can see this is also a black and white deck. Now, this deck was given to me by Sandra over at the Spirit of Avalon in a deck swap. So let's try these two together. Let's give a nod to that undergrowth. Yeah, I think if I hold it up like this, then I can double check that we are in shot. Wow, I like these two. So we've got delicate with the 4. I love that message. These are the backs, so the backs go nicely as well. Parasitic with the Magician. Oh my gosh, that Magician card. Is that Magician card like a tree? It is almost like a tree, isn't it? And that reminds me of the gigantic tree that you walk past on the path up to the house, which is fenced off, roped off to stop humans touching it, I suppose. It's almost like the humans are parasitic in that environment, which is a really interesting message. And then blooming with the High Priestess. Oh wow, look at the way the flowers mirror each other. So the blooming of your intuition. Love those two together. Look at this Empress card. Oh my gosh, I'm surprised by how kind of 70s feeling this is, with the 70s font as well. Polluted and the Empress. Oh my gosh. Wow, I love this so much. And the Emperor with complex. This complex card reminds me of the lake that you walk past as well to walk up to the house. There is a really spooky boat shed, which you can see here, which is made from almost, it looks like driftwood. It's pared back sort of wood from the forest, and it is a really complex design, really spooky actually around the lake, and it just reminds me of the complex card. So we really are in the walk up to the abandoned house, and look, we have abandoned as well. We've got what looks like a lake behind. We really are walking around this. You've got fish jumping out of the lake, an abandoned boat shed. Gives it a spooky feel, doesn't it? And awake with the Lovers. Oh my gosh, is this our walk up to the house now, where we see those 3 windows that the ghost is seen to walk past. Is she a lover looking for her lover still? And is that keeping her awake? We're definitely up to the spooky windows. And the Chariot with unstable. Wow, is her path unstable as the ghost? I love these two together. So that deck is definitely fantastic, I think, for exploring the undergrowth of Witley Court. Okay, I'm going to pull the Hush Tarot out now because, of course, Whitley Court is a ruin. It was burnt down and it's been ravaged by developers just ripping parts down as well. Plus we have that sort of ghost feeling. We've got the ghost story of the woman at Whitley Court. So there is a feeling of death around it. The fountains only work because it's been renovated. The other fountain again doesn't work. So there is a feeling of things that don't work and death and ruination there. So let's look at these two. Of course, this is tarot and tarot together, which isn't everybody's cup of tea. But I love that imagery of strength with the woman with the lion, and then a woman with a horse. I love that. You've got the patterns here of snake skin, almost looking like the patterns down here. In fact, there are so many animals in that card. Look at that. Do we have hidden animals in these? Let's take the Queen of Swords with the Hermit. Again, I like the this pattern here almost looks like the feathers. There is a synchronicity with the patterns that are being made, and looking in the mirror, it's like the truth of things with the Queen of Swords. All right, let's take this one. So we have the Star over here with the Wheel of Fortune. Wow. So the Wheel of Fortune, it's very circular. We've got the circular holes where the eyes should be in the skull, and I'm in the orangery now where there was an empty circle, which you would have just known was like a pot, would have been a pond filled with fish. Empty circles. So the unused fountain, the orangery, walking through that part. Oh, and look at the Queen of Cups with the Justice card, the columns of the crown with the columns of the building. Of course, the front part of the building is all columns, and you walk up and you go through the brick columns as well. There's a sadness here, isn't there, which I think the building holds on to, which I love. So yeah, there are columns everywhere, both in the orangery and in the building itself as you walk around. Then we've got the Hanged one with the Three of Pentacles. As you walk around, there's netting as well, which a lot of dead birds and even dead bats hang from in the building, which I don't know as I've even got any video of, but take my word for it's there. And the three of Wands, or is that the Three of Swords? Oh my gosh, I think that's the Three of Wands with death. Wow, I was talking about the dead animals around the place, and here we have it. Here we have it there. And then we've got Temperance with the Hanged one here. Of course, the water coming in and the mixing of water with Temperance. Definitely the fountains, because the fountains only come on once every hour. So people do hang around waiting for the fountain to come on. And the Devil with the Three of Swords. This reminds me of some of the colour of the brick as you walk into the building, and as you go through the building we found a wall that was covered in graffiti. It reminds me of the patterning behind these two people, and it almost looked sort of like some ancient devil worshipping script scratched into the walls, and people leaving messages of love or lost love on there. We used that wall as a divination practice while we were there. We were finding that words were jumping out, and when we pointed them out, we realised that we were both misreading them. It was like the wall was offering us up messages that weren't even there, and it astounded us. So we spent quite some time at this wall, sort of using it as some sort of strange divination, and there were messages of heartache coming out for us. So perhaps that was some sort of ritual wall, a ritual wall of graffiti. That's what this reminds me of. Okay, so I love the Hush Tarot with it, even though the Hush Tarot isn't black and white and introduces a completely different colour palette. I think that feeling of abandonment is there. Okay, what else have we got? Okay, when we were standing in the ruinous room by that wall of graffiti, we looked up and we were blown away by all of the layers of the wall. You could see where floors used to be, and where like old ovens or warming ovens were, like right high up in the rafters. It would have been a third floor room, and it just made us imagine all of the characters and the different stories and the lives of the people living on those different floors. Really is a snapshot into a life gone by, and all of these characters started to ooze out of the wall at us. So I am going to have a look at those characters, different archetypes that would have lived in that building. And it's another circular deck, and this is actually another brand new deck which I ordered at the same time as the Gorgons Tarot. So this is Kim Cran's Pocket Archetypes. I have been desperate for this deck for so long. I really wanted the bigger version, but money was an issue. The pocket version went on offer, and I thought, let's get them both together. Two circular decks that I just have been dying to get my hands on. And look at the synchronicity in that. We've got the tower shape there and the mountain shape there, with like a window in with a person standing, and we've almost got like a window here with the person behind it. This really is the characters going up the wall, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And then we've got the star. Could this have been like a sort of maid in the house? I wonder what floor she lived on. With the river, look, pouring the water of the river. My gosh, I love that too. Collecting water. Did she go down to the river, or was she somebody that kept the water clean in the fountains? Who knows? Oh my gosh, and look at that synchronicity between the moon card and the ocean card. Was this somebody looking out of a window on that top floor, or from the servants' quarters, wishing on the moon for a better life? And then the forest, somebody walking through the forests that are in the gardens with the sun. So the gardens were lovely at Witley Court. There were there's lots of water in the gardens, and there's lots of old trees, lots and lots of plants and hidden benches. You can imagine like lovers walking around the garden and meeting up secretly. Certainly not like this desert card, although there was a wildflower garden that was going over and going into seed and did look a bit like a desert. Ooh, and the judgment card. I wonder what went on in the gardens that they felt they might have been judged for. Lovers' rendezvous, I'm certain. And a bridge. We're going into the garden. There are definitely bridges that we walked over throughout the garden, which is fantastic. Perhaps the bridge was the edge of their world for the people that lived in the house. Oh, I love this. And we've got the temple with the Ace of Wands. Now the house is actually joined to the parish church, and they also have a chapel themselves in the house as well. So perhaps this is worship at either the chapel or the church itself. Let's have a few more of these. So the dead end, oh my gosh, this is definitely the lake house again, which was a dead end at the end of that path, with the Two of Wands. Perhaps it was a place where somebody went to make decisions. Oh, love it. Right, two more, because I'm loving these two together. The village. Oh, perhaps the staff there looked out onto the local village. Oh, and the empty room. We're back to that third story room with that strange oven in. Look, that's the oven with the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh. Love these two together. And this is editing me just because I love picking out strange things as I edit. Around this fireplace, look at all the light anomalies and orbs and weird shifts in the shadow and light. I looked elsewhere on the video, couldn't see it elsewhere, just on this floor around the fireplace. So I've tried to keep it in frame as much as I can, and I've slowed the footage down as much as I can, just so that you can spot it yourself and enjoy. This deck is gorgeous. Oh look, there's the box again. Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. So thinking about all the characters that would have lived in that house, that you could feel in the energy of those walls. This is another black and white deck. This is the Many Queens Tarot, and I just thought that perhaps the black and white aspect of this and all the characters might really work together. And look, you've got the Chariot card, which almost looks like the Fountain, because the Fountain has a figure riding a horse. It has dragons. This almost looks like the Fountain, to be honest. So we're immediately there in Witley Court. Look, these are the backs. So is this the many characters or the archetypes found within the grounds? It could be. Perhaps the ground used to have sacred circles within it. Who knows? The Six of Wands with Judgment. We've got another character on a horse. We're at the Fountain again with these sort of, could this be a cherub type creature? Again, we're definitely at the fountains. You can see the mini fountains around the edge have cherubs on. We've got the Seven of Wands here, the defences, with the Ace of Wands. Oh, I love these two together. And the Hierophant with the Eight of Wands. So in the church there is a big stone sculpture to do with the family that lived there, that they commissioned for the church, and we were saying how important they must have felt they were to create such an incredible memory of themselves, really. And this kind of self-proclaimed king on a throne in this Hierophant card kind of reminds me of that ego. And then you've got the decoration of the circles. The roof in the church was covered in decorated circles. Perhaps we are in the church here. Perhaps this is the family card, the Six of Cups, a remembrance to all of the members of the family, along with the Nine of Wands. Look at that. And the burden of the family trying to keep the house going. This almost looks like flames coming in. The burden of watching it all fall down, like they couldn't be protected in the end. It all kind of burnt down. And like family drama again, this tree coming in almost looks like flames, with the conflict of the family going on. Now within the grounds, now I absolutely loved the way that they set up pictures of the before and after. So there are before pictures, almost like a ghost of the landscape that was, and then you can look up from the pictures and see what's there now. I thought that was really moving, actually. Almost felt like this Two of Cups moment, like a before and an after. And I loved that. I loved this image of the woman that lived there. I almost felt like this photograph was saying that she was the ghost. Perhaps she was this Queen of Wands card. And the Knight of Cups, look at that synchronicity. Perhaps she is the woman walking backwards and forwards across the windows looking for a lover, because the last time we hit that idea, it was with the Lovers card. And again, here she is again casting shadows. And the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords with the Ace of Swords. Look at that. Isn't that just a fantastic pairing? Yeah, I am definitely going to love these two decks together as well. And the Ten of Pentacles with the Three of Swords. The heartbreak that the family was torn apart with the fire. The family that is now depicted in stone within the church. So when walking to the church, which is joined on, it's literally joined on where those windows where the ghost is seen walking. Either side of those windows, there used to be a door that opened into the church, which is now sealed shut, and the other side of the windows there is this drop down that you can see here, but that's joined to the church. But underneath the church there is the family crypt, which was closed when we went, but I'm desperate to get in. And it seems apt that we have the empty columns with a non-building here, which does make me think of Witley Court, but somebody underneath the columns. Perhaps this is the crypt, the Four of Swords. Right, crypt feeling and mysteries and darkness. I thought the Raven's Prophecy Tarot kind of had an amazing sort of energetic match, and we're talking about crypt. And look, the Death card is on top. The four columns almost look like the crown, and look, she's wearing something on her head as well. That looks like the crown as well. So are we in the crypt here, guys? Perhaps we are. So the Five of Swords, she's got a sword piercing through her. Again, that idea almost of death. With the Knight of Cups, another romance card with the dead woman. There's a little message and a little story forming here. Oh, and the darkness of the crypt with the Four of Wands and those candles lit. With somebody leaving, this could be the river of death, like being transported to the underworld. Oh, I love that idea. And the Seven of Swords, is this arrival at the underworld in our little story that's forming? But I am really loving these two together. So you've got the anxiety of the Eight of Swords with the Eight of Coins. Two eights have come out together. I love that. Perhaps this is the spade to dig your way out of that anxiety. And you can see my Nine of Swords got soaked in water, but never mind. The Nine of Swords, oh my gosh, the Nine of Swords with the Nine of Swords. Hello, that took me a while to cotton on to. How amazing is that? If that isn't a call to put these two decks together, I don't know what is. But perhaps the Ten of Swords with the Tower, that would make sense as well. And you've got the burning down of the house with just the end of it all. perhaps this is the glow of the house burning in the background, and those trees as flames again, and the house is just lost in the smoke. I love that. Let's do one more from this combo, because this is a definite combo I'm going to be working with. So the Page of Swords with the Four of Cups. So the aftermath perhaps of the fire. What comes next? What comes next? Look at what you're left with. The story of the fire. Oh my gosh, I love that. Look at those two together as well. I love that. Okay, so Raven's Prophecy, definite pairing for me. So I feel really called back to those windows where the ghost is seen walking, and because it's a female ghost, I just thought I really want to try this with the Literary Witches. Of course, this deck is a slightly limited colour palette. It's slightly different to the Gorgons Tarot. So you've got the Knight of Swords with wings. That really speaks to me, because it's that sort of go-getting energy of the Knight of Swords. Oh, I've got cards piling up in the wrong places everywhere. Oh my gosh, and look at that synchronicity there. Pairing these two together, that makes that handle of that Queen of Swords now look like that shape there, which links to me with Sheila Nagig. Look, this is the body with the Queen of Swords. Oh my gosh, that really speaks to me. And the King of Swords with glove. The gloved hand of the Justice of the King of Swords, like taking your flesh out of things, taking emotions out of things, putting gloves on. Almost like, it reminds me of Frozen, where she wears the gloves to stop her powers from spilling out of her with emotion. Love that message together. And the Ace of Cups with the Story card, and all these little creatures jumping around, with the fish jumping out here, and like the spill of the ink and the poison here, with this spilling here. Oh, these are fantastic. This really does remind me of the window where the woman is, and as I say that, we've got a window where the woman is. And the family card, what member of the family was she? And the Two of Cups again. Two of Cups, that kind of soulmate lovers story. And Milk with the Three of Cups. And they are drinking. What is in their cups? It almost looks like tadpoles. What is that in their cups? It's definitely not milk. And again, we've got the synchronicity of a woman, bravery, with the Four of Cups going down to that lake edge. Did that take bravery? Perhaps that lake house was somewhere you went where you were trying to grab hold of your bravery and think about the things that you do have rather than the things that you don't. It almost looks like she's submerged in the lake. A lake of flowers here and a lake of fish here. Oh, I love that. Right, the last one, the Five of Cups with the volcano. Wow, the volcano really mirrors this figure standing here. That volcano of feelings that comes out of sorrow. And look, in the back we've got a reference to the connecting building with windows. We're back at the windows again. So those are definitely images I want to continue with. Oh my gosh, look at these. So we've got jars, tombstones, we've got the jars here, we've got a woman, we've got hands, we've got woman, we've got hands. Oh my gosh, I love these two together so much. So the Literary Witches Oracle with the Gorgons Tarot, yes for that too. Okay, let's walk down to the fountains now. So this is the one working fountain at Witley Court, which is incredible. We've already seen it before in this video and in other videos, but I don't care, it's worth seeing many times. And it depicts a Greek myth, and it's got dragons in, and it's just incredible. So while we're in the cup suit, we're in water. Let's get this. This is the Hellenic oracle. This is Thea from Gorgons Tarot. This is her Hellenic oracle. That almost looks like the brickwork inside the ruin. And we're doing this because of the Greek statues in the fountains and the fact that this is the Gorgons Tarot. So this could almost be, is it the three sisters of the Gorgon turning him to stone? And what's your option going to be? How are you going to treat this person? Are you going to turn them to stone or not? Or which of these women would you like to be? Which option is yours? I love that. That speaks to me. You've got Hades here. I cannot speak of the Greek myths. I literally, as I pull a card, I have to Google it. I can't even remember off the top of my head what that statue in the fountain is. So I'm going to purely go off these as just visual. So we've got the woman seated here and the woman seated here. She's got two children here, or she's got two cups of whatever that is there. So woman holding things. I could read from that. You've got harmonia with a tambourine. So the harmony of the generations of the Ten of Cups. So there is sort of a harmonious feeling in those. If I'm destroying these Greek myths for anybody, I am sorry, but isn't it nice to sometimes see a complete beginner who has no knowledge on YouTube rather than expert after expert that makes you feel so inadequate? So yeah, you can thank me later. I'm making everybody feel so much better about themselves. Right, Hercules with the Page of Cups. I love that juxtaposition of the youth and the expert. I really do. And then we've got the Knight of Cups with the Labyrinth. This again links to that story of the ghost. The Knight of Cups, the romantic, with a woman continually searching for them. And you've got Theseus. I have no idea. I'm sorry to all you Greek pantheon experts out there, but it's an ocean. It's an ocean with the most incredible Turner style sun in the background, and here you've got like a moon or a sun with an ocean and a mermaid. The Queen of Cups lives here. Let's do one final one. Hecate, so goddess of the crossroads, with the King of Cups. I love those two energies together. We've got the fish jumping here and the cauldron with the smoke jumping here. Just fabulous. Shall we do one more? Let's do one more. Hester, beautiful Hester card with the Ace of Pentacles. I love that. There might be some symbology that is really jumping out at you Greek pantheon experts there. I don't know it, but I bet it's there. Love it. So these two are a definite as well. Right, we're going to stay. Obviously, we're still in the fountains because look at this layout. We've got this central huge statue here with possibly these two side statues shooting water that way, which is the layout of the fountain. So the Two of Pentacles card, love that. Look at that for balance and symmetry. Absolutely love it. Let's keep it with sort of a dark watery deck, the Somnia Tarot. I think water and fire, which applies fantastically to Witley Court. Water, the fountains, fire of the fire that destroyed the building. I think the somnia is perfect. Literally, as I'm saying it, there's water and there's fire in the lantern. Goodness me. We've also got a figure in the middle of the water in both cards. The Hermit, the Two of Pentacles. Love it. What time did the house burn down? Is the time ticking for a disaster? The Somnia. Oh my gosh, the Somnia suits Witley Court so much. And let's look at these, the Three of Pentacles. Elements working together towards disaster. So, I wonder what elements work together to bring the house down. Knight of Swords energy, so that rush and exhilaration of the Knight of Swords. With the Four of Pentacles, oh my gosh, the Knight of Swords is my narcissistic card, especially if it's pointing in that direction to the past. And the Four of Pentacles, the person being left behind. There is a very personal story here for me of surviving the Knight of Swords energy in its very worst aspect. That really speaks to me an awful lot, to be honest. The Nine of Swords, the Nightmare card, with the Five of Pentacles, being left out in the cold. Your nightmare is the house burning down, isn't it? And then you are really left out in the cold with nowhere to stay. Look, in the woods with the eyes staring out at you. It's like a woman at night. You've got a woman at night in bed here, just staring out at water. It's mirrored in both of those cards. Right, the Six of Pentacles, that idea of giving with a wishing well. Oh my gosh, I love that too. I love that too. The Seven of Swords, somebody creeping away with all of the swords. With the Seven of Pentacles, the skills and the patience to wait, and the impatient element of just taking. Right, last one for these two, the Two of Swords with the Eight of Pentacles. Oh, these are stuck together. Bear with me a second, don't be stuck together that badly, please. The Eight of Pentacles, that real skill acquisition. It's a decision, isn't it, to acquire that skill. I can see these two working together simply because I love the Somnia with that feel of Witley Court. I might inadvertently have found Witley Court deck in the Somnia, you know, as I'm pairing it, but it is still lovely to play with the Gorgons Tarot as a way to find these decks. So when we visited Witley Court, me and my friend, we took a picnic with us because we wanted it to be quite a cheap day out. And we walked all the way around the fountains, and then we walked around the garden, and we sat at the very top end of the garden by the Golden Gate, which is now all in bits, to look back at the house and the fountains and to eat our picnic. And it really did feel like we were the ladies in the garden. It really did. But then walking around the garden, exploring it, we were picking up feathers. We both had a couple of moments where we walked around a corner and we both stopped dead and looked at each other, and I said to my friend, the energy's off here, there's something going on. She was blown away. She said, I was literally about to say the same thing. So we were amazed that we were picking up the same energies in that garden together, which makes me think of kind of a shamanic deck, the Crystal Medicine Oracle, because we were kind of picking up on energies in nature. Of course, this is a circular deck as well, so it has to be tried. It has to be tried, the two together. So in the garden, picking up energies. And look, we're in a garden scene there. Rebirth. Oh, perhaps we were picking up on ghosts. This looks like some bizarre sculpture in the garden under the tree. The layout of that card is the same as well. We've got a bizarre tree here, bizarre tree there. The only thing missing is the figure. Perhaps it was the ghost, the rebirth. Oh my gosh, I love that too. Creativity. Oh my gosh, fire. We've got fire. We've got the crystal here as well. The house about to be burned down, the 10 of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, these two are great together. Initiation, the sacred site. Well, we were finding sacred sites around the garden. Oh my gosh, and look, we've got the building again in the background, which mirrors Stonehenge there, with this sort of tomb here that mirrors the tree. Again, the only thing that is missing is the figure and the cat, but we've got these two strange will-o'-the-wisp sort of spirit figures here. Oh my gosh, perhaps we were finding ghosts in the garden. Crystal blessings, the grandmother crystal diva with the Knight of Pentacles. Love it. And the divine feminine with the moon. With this card with like planets as well in the background. The moon is mentioned, a planetary card with the Queen of Pentacles holding a disc, Oh, love that synchronicity as well. Let's go on to unconditional love with the King of Pentacles. It couldn't get more apt, could it? With Mother Mary and diamonds. Right, so we have got through all of the deck. Turn it over and let's just split it in the middle. Let's carry on going through, because we haven't walked all around Witley Court yet, and I haven't done all my pairings yet. So retreat with the Page of Swords. 10 of Swords with rejuvenation. Oh my gosh. So the roots of the trees in the garden with the need to rejuvenate. Actually, it was at the edge of the forest that we felt that weird energy. It really did feel like this. With the 10 of Swords, like the death of somebody, I think we did find ghosts in the garden. I really do. Eagle and freedom with the 9 of Swords. Getting free of those nightmares. Oh, love it. So, yeah, going to work with those two together as well. There was one part of the house that we kept thinking we were seeing shadows of. We stood and filmed this little corridor that you couldn't get into for absolutely ages. Nothing showed up, although I think it must have been tricks for our eyes. We were both feeling really weirded out by this part of the ruin, so it was anxiety making. Look, we've got the 8 of Swords here in front of us. Yeah, it was like this little corridor through the house that was playing tricks on our eyes. Things appeared but they weren't actually there. So I'm going to put it with the Phantom Wise Tarot, which again is a black and white deck. The Phantom Wise is based on the book The Night Circus, which is a circus that only appears every so often. It's there and it isn't there. So that made me think about this corridor that we stood ages by. So we've got the High Priestess with the 8 of Swords. Visually, these two are just glorious together. And then the Fool, falling down the rabbit hole. This is very much like an Alice card, isn't it? With the 6 of Swords, going on a journey. Love that idea of Alice. The 10 of Wands with the 5 of Swords is a real burden there, isn't there? Didn't we get this card come up with the last time we were talking about places where ghosts could be seen? What? Okay, that's interesting. And the 2 of Pentacles with the 4 of Swords. Love that. We've got the Queen of Cups with the 3 of Swords. Again, that sort of tragic love story that we keep finding in these pairings. Perhaps it's the Queen of Cups. She's lost after heartbreak. Perhaps she is the ghost. I'm sure that ghost has got a link to a tragic love story there. And the Ace of Swords with the Seven of Swords. I love these cards together. The Five of Wands with the Two of Swords. I love it. And the King of Wands with the Chariot. Don't you think visually these two decks are just perfect? The World with the Queen of Wands. Let's see if we get a message now for that little corridor. The Four of Wands, marriage, with the Knight of Wands. Again, it's a link to tragic love stories every time we talk about ghosts. Really interesting. Okay, love those two together. Okay, there were feathers everywhere in the garden, absolutely everywhere. We came home with quite a few collected feathers, loads of crow feathers at the front of the building as well. And of course, this deck talks about the fact that it's full of animals as well. So how about the Wild Unknown Tarot with it, which again is a limited colour palette, and it's for me it is an animal deck, although both cards don't have animals in when I pick them up, but they do look absolutely gorgeous together. Absolutely gorgeous together. So we've got the Moon with the Eight of Wands. Oh my gosh, I love these together. We've got the Four of Cups with the Seven of Wands, that you can see the creatures coming in here. The beautiful Empress card with the Six of Wands. Love it. And the Five of Cups with the Five of Wands. And the Daughter of Swords with the Three of Wands. Cats, black cats and owls. And stars in the sky. Fabulous. The Eight of Pentacles with the Two of Wands. I love these two together. Look at that. Mother of Swords with the Ace of Wands. I can definitely see myself working with these two together. The Star in the World. Wow. Okay, this is a wild card because this is inspired by the stained glass windows and the circular paintings in the church that's joined on to Witley Court. It was such a juxtaposition from the building that was derelict to this incredible church building. It was like going from black and white to colour, and because this is a circular deck, this is a Mandala Healing Oracle by Denise Jarvie, I thought, could we put a juxtaposition of those two sites together? Could we do it? Let's just have a look at the backs. These might be nice with a black and white central card and all these colour cards around the edge. The Tower with Path of the Heart. Oh my goodness me, I love that. And Knowing. Oh, look at that. Knowing with the Devil. Look at the eye and the triangle. And the eyes here. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. Illumination with Temperance. Again, I love that. I didn't think that these would work, but I think this might be my favourite pairing, and they're circular, which is wonderful. Awaken with Death. Didn't we get an Awaken card or Rebirth card with Death before? Oh my gosh, I love it. We've got the personal mandala, which I haven't coloured in yet. Right, we've got Your Body with the Hanged One. Oh, which way up? That way up. Smile with Justice. I can really see these two working freedom with the Wheel of Fortune. Oh my gosh, with this idea of the wheel spinning round here with all the images around the edge. And the feminine with strength. The Chariot with deliberate creation, that idea of grabbing the reins, being deliberate about what you're creating or where you're steering yourself. Response with the Blind Gorgon. Oh my gosh, I love these two together. Relationships with the Fool. Yeah, that's speaking directly to me. And safety with the Hierophant. The crosses, look at the crosses here. Love this. Mindfulness with the Emperor. Look at the figure there, it kind of mirrors each other. Let's do one more. We've got the Empress with service. Oh my gosh, so many ideas you could take from that. Okay, so that really worked, that idea of going from dark colours to the bright colours of the church. That makes me now want to try another. This is the Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle. Honestly, I didn't think that mandala healing oracle would work, but I'm so excited now. I'm going to give this one a go as well. Future Self and the Magician. Pink Seeds and the King of Pentacles. Love that. Realising your dreams with the Eight of Pentacles. Wild Energy with the Seven of Pentacles. Allow accepting all parts of you with the Six of Pentacles. And Nurture with the Five of Pentacles. Oh my gosh, that I love that sort of imagery of like needing a hug. These could work as well. Moon Path, taking the next right step with the Four of Pentacles. Pink Bees, integrating your healing with the Three of Pentacles. That idea of working together, integrating different aspects of yourself. Moon Shroom, healing old brain patterns with the Two of Pentacles, finding balance. Let's do one more. The Ace of Pentacles with self-trust, building safety within yourself. It's almost like she's holding her inner child there with this message. Love it. That is another possibility. Perhaps I'm just going to like everything with the Gorgons Tarot, which is really, really lovely. So that's it, guys. That is a walking tarot unboxing, something a little bit different. It brings a sense of adventure and getting out the door, along with an unboxing, which is something that I like to do. I like to, let's just get our cards out there. I think there was a little story that emerged about that female ghost at Witley Court, and like going down to the lake to make decisions of lover rendezvous in the garden, tragic love stories, and families pulled apart by fire, and that journey from dark to colour, going from the building to the church. All of that has kind of added energetically to the story of visiting Witley Court, and inadvertently to these decks too, which I love. I love. Let's pile on the layers of energy and story. It gives us so much to explore. So what do I think of the Gorgons Tarot? Oh my god, I'm so in love with it. I'm so excited about working with this one, guys. I think it opens up a great deal of possibilities, and I'm really excited to have it in my collection. So thank you so much for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have the Gorgons Tarot and what you find it really useful for. I'd love to know. And thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.